Let's talk about social media. With almost everyone in the world having access to the internet, it's become completely embedded in our lives. It's normal, it's everywhere, and most people don't even question it. But the truth is that social media can be the root of a lot of your problems. Not because it's evil, not because it's useless, but because you're treating it like real life, and it's not. Today, I want to explain how social media quietly distorts your perception of success, drains your attention, and delays your progress, and what you can actually do about it. Just a quick introduction, my name is S. I'm 22 years old, I graduated university last year, and I currently work as a consultant within the finance industry. I am deeply interested in self-development and self-mastery, mainly because of my past mistakes and experiences, and I believe that these experiences and mistakes have given me a little bit of wisdom. I share these lessons because if any of my videos helps even one person to gain clarity, it's worth it. My aim is to be that older brother, that friend, that voice of reason that I didn't have when I was younger. So, no fluff, let's get straight into it. So my first point, and this will be the foundation of everything else, is that social media is not real life. So let me say it again. It is not real life. Social media is a highlight reel. You see outcomes, not effort. And you only see what people want you to see. You only see results, not the sacrifice. Wins, not the years that it took to get there. That trains your brain to believe three dangerous things. That success is fast, success is common, and success is easy. And none of these things are true. According to research, for example, the average age of an American millionaire is around 61 years old. And that is in the most capitalist country in the world. While global data varies, the pattern is the same. Real success takes time. So when you see people online claiming the millionaires in the early 20s or flexing a lifestyle that looks so effortless, they're either an extreme outlier or they're pretending to be something that they're not. And this damages your internal belief system because you start believing that success should come quickly, that it's normal, that you're behind. So when things get hard or don't move as fast as you expect, which they always do, you assume that something is wrong with you. And nothing is wrong with you. Your reference point is just wrong. This leads directly to the second point, that social media algorithms push extremes. And they don't just show them, they normalize them. Luxury cars, constant travel, perfect bodies, endless money. You see these things because that's what people crave, and that's what keeps you scrolling and retaining the app. Day after day, your brain stops seeing these lifestyles as exceptional, and it starts seeing them as the baseline, as something that you should already have. So now, a stable job feels unimpressive because social media has sold you the dream of fast money, low effort fantasies. Think of your forex, your dropshipping, overnight success schemes. And 9 out of 10 times, that's not even the full picture. But that video is for another day. Slow progress feels like failure because every time you open the app, someone is winning, someone is achieving something, reaching a milestone. And discipline feels pointless because you never see the years of work behind real success, so you don't think that's what you require. And you're not ungrateful for the life you have, you're just overstimulated with unrealistic expectations that have been normalized. And this being normalized can quietly steal your satisfaction if you start comparing yourself to those benchmarks. The next point is that you go from a builder and a creator to a consumer. And this is where it gets dangerous. Social media shifts you from being a builder to a consumer. You scroll, you admire, you save, you like, you repost, you share it with your friend. But you don't build. You don't write, you don't train, you don't study, you don't execute. It kills your creativity and your critical thinking. You start living through other people's achievements and their opinions instead of working on your own. Or worse, you get a false sense of productivity when you watch 10 self-development videos without applying a single thing. So over time, consuming replaces doing. And that's how your ambition can die. Not loudly, but passively, in the shadows. Another issue that I have with social media that people don't talk about is that it enables you to idolize the wrong people. Social media rewards fame over integrity, money over competence, attention over contribution. Some people with loud lives and loud personalities with weak values, they become the blueprint. They will do anything for the fame. I'm not going to say names, but I know a few names came to your mind. Think about the viral rappers constantly in trouble, the gossip pages obsessing over influencer drama, endless thirst traps designed purely for validation and attention. At one point, I looked up to people with money, status, and chaos. Flashy lifestyle, constant flexing, no stability. Then I asked myself a simple question. Will I actually want their life at 40? And let's be honest, that lifestyle looks appealing when you're young, but the answer was no. Another question that you can ask yourself is this. Will you actually like the person you idolize if you met them in real life? You'll be surprised how many people with no moral or values have platforms purely because social media has made them famous. So, social media confuses visibility with virtue, and that's a dangerous mistake. Just because someone is visible and has clout and is famous, doesn't mean that they're someone you should look up to and aspire to be like. The next one, let's talk about biology. Every scroll, every like, every notification, that's cheap dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical messenger in your brain responsible for motivation, focus, and reward-seeking behavior. And it's released when your brain thinks, this is worth pursuing again. The problem is that social media gives you that dopamine without effort and without actually making any progress, without the achievement. So your brain gets rewarded for doing nothing. Now, do you see what the problem is? So over time, it adapts, and slow rewards like reading, training, studying, building, and actually achieving something start to feel boring. But not because they're boring, but because your dopamine threshold is fried, because you're used to having high dopamine from doing nothing within your system. And this is why potentially you procrastinate, you struggle to focus, or you quit too early. It might not be a motivation problem, but it might be a stimulation problem, and your brain needs that rewiring. Now, the final point. If you combine everything, you see the constant success, you feel behind, you're overstimulated, you're unfocused, you think you're running out of time. That will create anxiety. Not clinical anxiety, but existential anxiety. The feeling that you're late to life, even when you're not. Social media compresses timelines and distorts reality, and your nervous system pays the price. Because in reality, you don't need more motivation, you need clarity. Talk to someone older, ask them where they were at your age, study real success stories and how long they actually took to get there, and you will realize something important. You're not behind, you just need perspective. So stop comparing yourself to social media. So why am I saying all of this? I'm not anti-technology, I'm not anti-social media, I care about clarity. I've applied this approach since I was around 20. I'm intentional with what I consume. I rarely scroll mindlessly. And when I do use social media, it's for like podcasts, interviews, economics, politics, long-form thinking, not just for constant entertainment or something that is not going to help me progress. And because of that, it's helped me to achieve top grades, secure a full-time role straight out of university, have the peace of mind about my progress, and think long-term instead of comparing daily. My goals aren't distorted by someone else's lifestyle. I have that clarity that didn't come from motivation, but came from removing noise from social media. So I'm not telling you to delete everything. I'm telling you to just become aware of what you give your attention to. Ask yourself, how much time do you actually spend scrolling? What are you actually consuming? What emotions does this trigger? Do you find yourself comparing yourself to other people on social media? And then think about what could you have built, learned with that time that you spend on social media instead. And now I want you to do something different. Replace that cheap dopamine with earned dopamine. Reading, journaling, training, learning. Replace the admiration for others with action for yourself. Replace the noise with clarity. That's how you rewire your brain, and that's how you move forward. Social media isn't real life, and the sooner you stop treating it like it is, the faster your real life begins. If this helped, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. I'm out.